The blog this week comes to you on a much sombre note. Last Friday, reluctantly and unfortunately, the board and executive management of Harness Racing New South Wales had to announce a 20% decrease in base prize money levels. That's a significant decrease, but not in any defence. It's along similar lines to every other racing organisation who has been profoundly impacted by the downturn in wagering revenue. This is caused by COVID-19. It's an insidious virus which is affecting all of humanity and across the globe. But we have to deal with what's in front of us, and fortunately we have been able to keep racing. We've kept racing under rather strict protocols, but we've kept racing. Why 20%? Well, 20% works out to be the amount that we believe the industry can carry for the foreseeable future. We have relied somewhat on the future fund, but we can't drain that future fund completely. We need something more when we get outside of COVID-19 and see what our wagering revenues are going to be like. So to our participants, it was reluctant and it is unfortunate, but it's what we're faced with. But Harness Racing New South Wales has looked at many other measures throughout the last 6 weeks as we held off making that decision to reduce. As I said, other jurisdictions did this in early April, but we've looked at all avenues. We'll be cutting costs of operations. We'll be cutting, for example, there was some social media comment on our staffing and on our board members and on me myself about us taking cuts. Cuts will be across all sectors of the industry. So when you contact Harness Racing New South Wales on a matter which of course is important, just bear with us that you may not get an instant response because the staff member's not here in the office. As we know, with social distancing and restrictions put in by government, they can't be here all the time. But also there will be redundancies at Harness Racing New South Wales, so that's another avenue that we're looking at to try to pull the industry or deliver best to the industry when the wagering turnover is so far down. There have been comments made on social media which are factually incorrect, so they need correcting. One comment was that the regional championships that we're running at the moment, why not reduce those back? But what we've got to look at there is that's money that we have to use under our agreements with Tabcorp, so we have to use that money, and it is being delivered to our participants, our bread and butter horses, really, because it's up to 70 ratings points. So that's one thing. Club Menangle, Club Menangle will make their own announcements. They certainly have got some big decisions to make. There was something about Harness Racing New South Wales buying into a stallion. It's not permitted for Harness Racing New South Wales to buy into a stallion, so that's in the domain of Club Menangle, and they have a different funding model as we have different funding models from state to state. So they're the sort of things we have to look at, and there are so many other inaccurate social media posts that do need correcting. So once again, I say, if you have a question, if you want something clarified, send me an email. I'll respond to you. And certainly if you have some great input that we can work with to take forward this industry and recover from COVID-19, somehow get our wagering revenue back up to a level that it was prior to March this year, well, please do. Please send them in to me. They will be circulated to our board members, our other executive management, anyone here in Harness Racing New South Wales, and we'll certainly come up with a solution that is practical, affordable, and able to be delivered fairly to all people in this industry. Another part of what the board and management of Harness Racing New South Wales looked at, and we had a meeting with the kindred bodies. These are the people who are elected to represent all sectors of the industry. We had a meeting with them last Friday morning, and from that meeting we've asked them to go out to seek opinions from participants of the industry in respect of two things. The first thing is the the difference between the prize money of an A and a B category meeting. What should it be? Should there be a great difference between these two? How will the clubs share in this? What about the national rating points and how that affects the levels of prize money? So we will formally go out, but you can talk to your associations, those people who represent you, and you give them your opinions on that. And the other part was with regard to the Breeders' Challenge. The Breeders' Challenge has not been changed at this time. Immediately people started contacting me, and I wish to clarify and correct straight away that even though the prize money for a B meeting has dropped down to $4,800, below the $5,000 threshold for receiving a certificate or a cash bonus, they will be honoured. But there will be a review into the Breeders' Challenge series and incentives, as well as the Trot New South Wales series and incentives. So that will be taking place over the next month. And once again, you've got the Owners Association, the Trainers Association, the Breeders Association, your Clubs Association. Go to your association or come direct to Harness Racing New South Wales and have your say, put in your submission, because once these decisions are made, it's a little bit too late to then unwind them. So that opportunity's there, it's there now. We will release that sometime this week, and you will be able to go to a common spot where you will be able to get the details and respond to Harness Racing New South Wales. Finally, as I said, reluctantly, and Harness Racing New South Wales took its time, some 6 weeks since the beginning of April when those other 20% announcements were made, to make a decision on where we were going. We wanted to know exactly where the wagering revenue was sitting, where it was coming from, and where the projections were into the future. But we have an operation here we're running fully, so we've not cut back on race meetings. We're offering the same opportunities, albeit, as I say, reluctantly with less prize money. But please work with us, work with the industry. We have a great industry, and let's get back to where we were before this insidious disease, this virus, COVID-19.